folks, and welcome to War Thunder with Flying Dodo. Today we're going to be flying out the American P51, also known as the Cannonstang, at a battle rating of 3.7. I've flown out in this match with my friends Zupay and Doc Wobbly Goblin. God, it's weird to say. Doc Wobbly Goblin. Doc Wobbly Goblin. Whatever. This plane is probably one of the least well-rounded planes at its BR. It's really got only a couple of things going for it. Those things are dive speed, straight line energy retention, and 4 20mm cannons. Let's take a look at how those work right now with my first target, this fellow in the 109 in front of me who's in a shallow dive. I reach over 700 kilometers per hour, which is nowhere near this plane's red line. I assume he's waiting to see tracers from my cannons before evading, but I'm running stealth, and it looks like he starts to evade at right around 400 meters, which is my gun's convergence. He's taken by surprise, and the 20mm rounds blow him apart. So let's lay down some ground rules you'll probably want to follow for this plane. Rule number 1, climb. This plane is a terrible climber, though this match was recorded from patch 1.55, and in a recent flight in patch 1.57, it seems to have a little better climb to 5 kilometers. It's still pretty bad at climbing. At the beginning of the match, we spent nearly 8 minutes climbing to 6 kilometers, and we didn't bother climbing higher because I'm not entirely sure it can. Now, you aren't climbing because it performs better at a high altitude. It doesn't. It's worse. But you want that altitude to use its only real strengths, which are dive speed and straight line energy retention. All gaining altitude is doing this plane is setting yourself up to lose it, converting it to energy, which is what you gotta do to use this plane. Rule number 2, don't turn. Ever, if you can help it. This thing bleeds so much speed and energy in maneuvers of any kind that turning when any enemy is near you, all you've done is sign your own death warrant. I turn around and now this 109 is in my sights. He's going so slow, I'm surprised he's even staying in the air. Looks like everything exploded, he caught on fire, and his pilot is unconscious, to put it mildly. So let's get back to the rules now. Rule number 3, do not turn. Okay, in all seriousness, just don't turn in this thing. This plane is a simple boom and zoomer, and doing anything else in it is just asking for trouble. Earlier I watched Doc, let's just call him Doc, it's easier, made a pass on a 109 and missed. I turned around to see if anything presents itself as a target. It takes a long time to turn around. Anything that would have been there is long gone. I'm kind of looking around to see if there's anything that would be a simple BMZ for me, but don't see anything except a 109 to my right. I go to dive on this 109 below me, full throttle, hoping he'll do something stupid so I can kill him. But this thing is such a whale that I can't get it pointed in the right direction in time. I'm picking up speed, but not much else. I fire half-heartedly and miss. I knew nothing was going to connect there. I head back up and start to try to loop to come back over, but the plane is fighting me so hard and going where I want it to, I just give up and continue going back up for some altitude. I finally get it to turn over, kind of, and I'm pointed sort of towards Doc's target, or where they were. I'm pushing this thing really hard, and sometimes when I try to flip it over, it just won't. Just keep trying, it'll do something that resembles a maneuver eventually. After finally getting it to flip over, I've gotten this plane kind of into a position where I can kind of dive on the 109. It actually turns over for me now, and I'm racing towards the 109 and the ground. I'm pushing some serious speed now, reaching 780 kilometers per hour. Still not redline. I just can't bring the plane into a firing position. The 109, traveling at similar speeds apparently, has no trouble turning outside of my gun sights. I perform a typical maneuver that I use a lot in other aircraft to stay on top of a target while retaining a speed advantage. The 109 just loops up under me and is immediately out of sight. I continue straight for a moment, trying to get some energy to waste to turn back into the 109. But now we are facing each other, and I'm not good at head-on, so I just flail my mouse wildly to get it out of the way. I also do not want to be in front of this Doe 217, but he ignores me and goes for Doc, so I turn in and begin to follow him. The amount of time it takes to complete a turn is again astounding. You've got to be careful fighting attackers and light bombers in this plane. I think the Doe 217 would probably win in a turn fight with this plane. I think that many attackers and light bombers probably would. But he's tunnel visioned and my 20s at convergence tear him up. I immediately turn left to approach the HS-129 that the XP-55 can't seem to kill. And I'm going balls out trying to get to this guy. We are losing badly by tickets and these bombers need to go down. I maneuver sort of as well as I can and try to set myself up for some deflection shots. Look at that turn. Wow. Following even the slow, lumbering twin-engine bomber is a chore in the P51. At least the 20s do their job and take off his wing. I'm not going to make a habit of posting videos where a large percentage of my kills are bombers, but in this plane, I was pretty happy to get those. The struggle of getting this plane moving the direction you want it to makes even bomber hunting at low altitude challenging and exciting. I was low on ammo and needed to return to base. Zupay had died back there somewhere, and I think Doc was engaged with some 109 or another. I didn't know, so I used an Avenger thingy to spot him, though I guess I didn't need to. We're going to fast forward here while I head in for a landing. While fast forwarding, let me just say that while I think this plane is mostly junk, I do have fun flying it. I'm not sure why, I just do. It's kind of like picking the one-eyed, three-legged puppy from the pound and putting a bow on it and then entering it in a doggy beauty contest or something. I mean, when you can get the enemy to put themselves in a position to be derped by this plane, it's really satisfying. I especially love doing it with this dog tag skin that everyone can see. Merca! I take off from my super awesome landing, and Doc lets me know he's out of ammo and being chased by, I think, the last guy on the enemy team. I race towards him as fast as I can in this plane. I'm trying to climb a little while retaining some speed, which just isn't really an option in this plane. Doc is doing some fine evasive maneuvers, and I tell him to bring the 109 down and I'll try to force a head-on. Even if I die, maybe their tickets will run out fast enough if he dies for us to win the match. I confirm that he's the last guy, and Doc starts bringing him towards me. He doesn't take the head-on bait, and I miss this guy completely. I do my best to turn around and maybe get a Hail Mary shot off on him. With the length of time this plane takes to turn around, they are long gone and out of range. It looks like Doc's about to be taken out by this guy, but he's saved by losing the tickets. Overall, a really fun game in a really terrible plane. Like or subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.